Hello everyone, Klaus here, and today guys, of course, I'm gonna review an Exo-Force set again, from the first wave of 2006, but this time it's not gonna be in fact a middle-sized mech because I have already reviewed all of the 4 mechs released in in the first wave, and the 2 little one, also the same from the uplink. So now I'm gonna review one of the 2 kind of special sets, so not special edition set, but more yes, one of the 2 special sets which were released in the first wave. So there was a Great Assault, which is kind of like a play set, and there was, excuse me, this set, which is called the Sonic Phantom, and which is in fact kind of an aerial vehicle. Of course, I'm not gonna say it's a light ship, but still it's an aerial vehicle for the evil robots. So, well, that's quite all. The box, of course, even if it's a different type of vehicle, is quite the same. So the Lego the Force logo right there, the red border with SP right here, which stands for Sonic Phantom, some shape of the main reactor, the main turbojet on the front, the face of one of the evil bots. The set number right in here, but you can also see it right in there. The light-up brick logo. And that's quite all, and of course the set itself. And you can notice that in the background on this bridge you have the alternate model of the Thunder Fury, which is called I totally don't remember the name of the alternate model, but it's the alternate model of the Thunder Fury right here. So it's nice to have this kind of little I don't really have the name for it, yes, but it's quite nice because we have already have this in the Steel Thunder box. There was a Titan tracker on the background, in fact, and so here it's another alternate model. So quite cool. And nothing really to talk about this box. So no open or fun stuff like the middle-sized mech box. Just a normal one. So on the side, the 1:1 scale of the bot you're gonna have in this set, which is a Devastator, but a special one because it got some kind of a transcolored fade with his main silver color, but we're gonna see that with the set itself. The other side, nothing really interesting. Excuse me. On the back, where you can see the side view of the model with the gimmicks highlighted, if I can say so like that. So, for example, if I can say so like that, excuse me, if I can, yes, if I can say that. So the light up brick right here, and also the firing missile right there with the little trigger. But we're gonna see that again with the set itself. The alternate model called the Speeder Phantom, excuse me, which is in fact this time a kind of a motorcycle. A little comic book, well, in fact, just 3 strips. The Sonic Phantom arrive, he fire at the Get Assault, and then he fly away. So we may see the end of this comic in the Get Assault box, which I think I will review next week, if there is no problem. And then the diorama showing you all the sets released in the first wave, except the Supernova, which was kind of a special edition released between the 2 waves. So, well, plus the fact that the special edition don't really appear in any of the official pictures, by the way. Now for the instruction booklet, excuse me. So, this one. So yeah, nothing really interesting. Again, it's the same stuff over and over. Build this guy in like 30 steps, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, 30 steps plus 31 to apply the stickers, the parts list, then the picture of all the sets from the first wave, and that's all. Nothing really interesting. Now for the set itself. So first of all, the minifig. So of course it's a bot, so nothing very new in terms of mod, but in terms of colors it's different because you have already seen that the Devastators, which came with the Thunder Fury and the Fire Vulture, got some kind of little transcolored fade. So for example, on the Fire Vulture we reviewed yesterday, it was some light blue, trans blue fade. Yes, trans blue fade, and on the Thunder Fury it was some kind of trans red fade. On this one it's some trans green fade, as you can see right there. You can see that on the back, and it's look again pretty nice. And this one got eyes, because it's not the case on every bot. Lego sometimes just don't want to give you a spare axle to put on their head to make some eyes. So well, on this one they decided to put some eyes. So don't really know why. It was, I think it's maybe just on the Sentry and on this guy that there is some eyes, but I may have made a mistake, excuse me. So yes, the legs, the arms, of course you got 2 points of articulation per arms, one on the shoulder section and one on the hand itself, which can turn 360 degrees. The same goes for the arms. The legs can turn up to this point in the 2 sides, and of course the head is directly molded into the body, so this means it can turn. Notice the axle hole, which here is used of course with an axle for the eyes, and also the studs on the front, which I don't really have talked in my precedent reviews, but yes, there is kind of little studs right there, which can be useful to link some, I don't know, one by one little parts or stuff like that. Wait, yes. I talk in terms of studs. And I think that's all. So now for the set itself. So we're gonna yes, begin with the main frame. So of course it's a vehicle set, so it's quite different from the mecha I've reviewed in the past weeks. So nothing really complex in fact, because the main frame is made with this type of system bricks with pinholes on the side. So well, you're gonna link these parts together, then put some handles with some curved technique beam on this part. So yes, the handle. This part on the back with the little propeller. We're gonna put some parts right there on the later on the review. The same goes for the wings, which will be linked directly to this articulated parts that you may remember from the mecha's set, which were useful on the arm. The front of the cockpit, so with a little glass, of course some stickers, some sloped brick, nothing very new, some microphone used as little details. The same goes for the motor used right here. The little space here, just up the the rocket launcher part, I can call this like that, will be used to put the lighter bricks. Again, we're gonna put this part later on. On the side, you see some silver hosepipe, which are in fact used to cover the trigger mechanism right there, as you can see, because as you can see, there is a kind of really part right there, full section here, which is quite useful in fact to activate the lighter brick and the launcher, in fact, because you can see. Okay, this was not supposed to happen. Well, at least I didn't want this to happen, but if I press this part down, as you can see, this part also moves. So this means this part is linked to this one, and it will be helpful to light up the brick. And also, as you can see, there is an elastic, a rubber band right there, which is directly linked from the trigger part, the trigger section, to the trigger part of the rocket launcher. So this means, in fact, when I push the trigger, I will activate the lighter brick and the throwing missile. The missile launcher, excuse me. And I think that's quite all. So yeah, of course, I'm gonna link this pipe back there, which are useful to cover this trigger part. And I think that's all. At least for, well, yes, that's all. Also, the color scheme is lime green, dark gray, black, and some touch of light gray, plus some silver colors. But seriously, it's really not really interesting color scheme, because apart from the lime, the lime green, nothing really outstanding. It's your usual average color scheme with black, dark gray, and stuff like that. So first of all, I'm going to talk about the wings. So here you go. So how they are made, in fact, is quite simple. I'm going to put all these parts off. So first of all, you got the wings, the wing itself, with the little parts right here to link to the main body, as you have seen previously. Then this plates, this curved plate right there, and then this strange part with 4 studs and one kind of pinholes on this side, which will be useful to link this axle part. So I'm gonna put this like that. As you can see, I have this axle right there, so I'm gonna put this big jet reactor, propeller, call it whatever you want, or turbojet, I don't really know. So I'm gonna put this part right here, we have already seen this part, yesterday with the fair virtual review, of course. And now I'm gonna put this part, which is the cannon part, so a T-shaped part, some long axles, the slime green part, and then the two type of cylindrical parts which are used as cannon. So nothing really new. I'm gonna link this section to this axle right there. And well, here we go. I'm done with this part. So I'm gonna link it directly there. The same goes for the the left side, excuse me. Left side. It's the exact same build, of course, because it's a very symmetrical build. Excuse me, I'm gonna put this part like this, like that, excuse me, yes. And well, that's all. So now for the front part, which are in fact the more interesting. Here we go. So again, a big jet reactor, some slope bricks. So how it works. In fact, it's really not that complicated to understand. So I'm gonna put off, in fact, all those bricks. Yeah, like that. So first, I got a curve technique beam right there. This part will be useful to link the two front engine turbine together. Then I got, in fact, this blocky part, which is made with this part with a pin directly molded into the brick. I can say so like that. Excuse me. Excuse me. And then, in fact, nothing really interesting because we're gonna have some plates linked together. This bright yellow part with an axle hole molded into the brick is gonna be useful to link this part. So this part is made with a big propeller again, a big turbojet, and then this type of cone part, as you can see. Nothing really outstanding. So a long axle. I'm gonna link that here, and of course here I got the axle. So we got this bright yellow part, but the more interesting part is, in fact, there is a stud part, snot part, snot meaning studs not on the top. Right here, in fact, you can see, because we're gonna take this brick and then link this type of bricks, and then we're gonna be able to link, well, the studs not on the top, so on the side, like that. And this part, this big part, will be useful to link this curved brick on the side. Then on the upper part, not a snot technique, but still we're gonna link this other curved part to some type of car engine. And then on the bright yellow part, we're gonna link the propeller section. And we're done. Here how it works, and of course it's look pretty compact. So we're gonna now link this part on this axle and pin. I'm gonna try, yes, of course, maybe like this. And now, in fact, we're just gonna link some little parts. So, for example, the lighter brick, which is very simple. So no clear hose pipe or stuff like that. Transparent hose pipe is just yes, your average. Yes, it's used as a laser saber on Star Wars set, and some parts, and well, you push the button, it lights up and stuff like that. So nothing really interesting. We're gonna put this part, well, not really link it, but just put it in this section, as you can see, where it can still slide. But it will become in handy later on the review. And finally, this part with a little antenna and some curved brick. I'm gonna link that on this side, and the model is done. So excuse me for this little turnaround. Now we got well, that's all. So now for the not really the articulation parts, but more like the gimmicks and stuff that moves, in fact, in this set. So yes, first of all, you got the little propeller which can turn, the little antenna, you can adjust it where you want. The wings also, you can turn them on this way, and I think they're supposed to go in this way on the front box, kind of like that. You can also put them down, so it's up to you, in fact, to choose where you want to place them. Also, this part can turn, but sometimes it's quite hard because when you put the model on the side, it will fall off, and it's quite it's annoying because you really want this part to stand like that, in fact, in the middle, and sometimes they just fall off, and then sometimes miraculously they block on some invisible stuff, as you can see right here. I don't really know why the part is blocking right there and not falling off, so well, it's quite a little problem. Then this propeller turns also, and that's quite all for the overall turning stuff, rotation stuff, because now of course you got the main interesting gimmick is the trigger stuff. So I'm just gonna push the trigger. First of all, it launches the missile because of the elastic, which is right here, which is directly linked to the trigger of the missile launcher. And then, as you can see, I'm gonna continue to pushing the trigger. And when I push the trigger on this side, on the back, this part goes, in fact, on the front, on the force. And as you can see, the ball joint right here, the bright lime green ball joint, will in fact continue and touch the button of the light up brick. As you can see, it's light up. And all it works. So it's really simple. In fact, it's just a two-in-one type of trigger type of gimmick, in fact, and it works pretty nice. So no big problem with that. I'm gonna now link the character, well, the bot, on the cockpit, so nothing really interesting. And I'm gonna do the sum up about this set. So first of all, the color scheme, well, absolutely nothing spectacular because it's black, dark gray, light gray. So of course it's okay, but it's not that impressive. So classic color scheme, nothing really interesting to brag about. It's just it's just black and dark gray. Then you got the part selection, which is, I think, quite interesting on this set because, well, you will find like 4 big propeller parts. So it's even in the same type fortress, you don't have as much. I think that's the only set in which you got, in fact, the 4 of this part. So it can be interesting for those who want this type of part, of course. Then you got all the usual sloped brick and stuff like that, like this part here, there, and stuff like that, the curved brick and so on. Then you got some typical Exo-Force parts. This means other parts which are used as guns or as engine, like for example the three jet engines, the little antenna, propeller on the back, stuff like that. So all in all, I think it's a pretty okay parts selection, and well, most famously for the 4 big propeller which come in this set, also the 4 cannons. So yeah, it can be useful, I think. It depends on of what you want to mock, if you want something which use this part or not. But I think overall it's pretty good. Then you got the construction, which is well, at the time in 2006 it was really interesting because I have to say that in 2006 I was buying all the Exo-Force set as they were released, and this means I got this one just after the 6 first released mechas. So it was really different in terms of building because of course I was for some time I built some mecha sets. So of course I was used to the typical frame and stuff like that, the body frame, and well, building this type of aerial vehicle was really different and was really an interesting stuff. So yeah, the construction itself is not really that interesting. I mean, the main frame is, well, it's just made of some normal system bricks with pinholes, stuff like that. So nothing really interesting. But the studs part on the front can be interesting. The trigger part is quite nice also. So in fact, you will find in this set most of the building techniques you have already found in the mecha set. So for example, you have some triggers which activate the light up brick. You have some snot technique used on some parts. So in fact, it's quite like the Grand Titan, the Steel Thunder, or set like that. And that's quite interesting to see how they they in fact use the same techniques but on some different type of set. Mechas on one side and this type of vehicle on the other side. And I think that the construction, even if it's not the most amazing stuff you have ever seen, because I mean there is not that tons of really interesting techniques or stuff like that, well, it's still quite nice. And you have also to remember that it was kind of the first original spaceship released by Lego, if you don't count the Star Wars, because yes, in 1998 I think Lego stopped to release the original space and sci-fi team to just release in fact Star Wars sets. And so the Exo-Force toy line was kind of the first to be kind of futuristic and different from Star Wars. And well, this spaceship is quite one of the first in fact, before Mars Mission and Space Police 3. And all the action time also will come later on, like the Atlantis, Prominers, Agents, stuff like that. So yeah, the construction is, I think, pretty nice. Nothing really that outstanding, but still it's pretty refreshing when you have built like 6 mechs before. And then the overall design, well, the overall design, I have to admit, is not that original because it's really sci-fi based. So I think in video games, in movies, or even in book, you have already seen this type of vehicle with large propellers, stuff like that. But even if it's not that original, at least is pretty well made. Just this model. I'm gonna maybe put this like that. Oh yeah, but the part just fall down, which is quite a problem. So yes, even if it's not really original, because this type of sci-fi, not spaceship, but sci-fi vehicle has already been seen before, but even if it's not that original, it's still well made. So since it's really well made, you have to like this large big turbo jet on the front, which really give the model really a sense of, wow, I really put the stickers in a bad way. I don't really know why, but oh yeah, I know why. Well, yeah, excuse me. I just, in fact, noticed that I really put the stickers in some weird way, just on the top, and it doesn't really look like, oh, I put the stickers on this engine. So I think I just, well, I just put this reactor, which was supposed to go on the Fair Vulture. I put this one on this set because yeah, I often destroy this set to put some elements in my Bionicle box. So by the way, it's not really that interesting. Just to say that yes, the engine on the front are really well made and really gives the set a wide a sense of yeah a sense of wide design, excuse me. You can see the front. The same goes in fact for the turbo, the propeller used on the wings, which also is not that original but well made, as I have to say. The little antenna on the back, the propeller, which in fact there is tons of big rounded parts. So in fact there is only a big shape remainder around the model. So apart from this part, which is not really that original, I mean it's just some slurp bricks and stuff like that, so nothing really that interesting. Apart from that, the overall design is really a good one. And I have to admit that Lego released this type of aerial vehicle the 3 years of Exo-Force. So there is the Sonic Phantom in the 2006, there is a model in 2007, and there is another one in 2008. And I think that's maybe is still one of my the one I prefer, I think, even if I do not have the model from 2008. Which I think is also pretty good, but still. So, well, I'm not gonna talk about tons of time in this sum up, but just to say the overall design of this set is great, the construction is quite interesting, and so see, apart from the color scheme, which is really not that original, I think it's a pretty great set from 2006 because it was pretty refreshing at the time. It was just not another type of mechas or wheelies and stuff like that. It was a vehicle, excuse me, and that's what really made it different from the other sets and really pretty unique. Plus the fact that the design is really well made, even if it's not that original for those which are fan of science fiction stuff, is still well made, and well, that's all you can opt for a Lego set. Plus the gimmicks also works pretty nice. You have a launching stuff and and stuff like that. And even if it's not again that original, it works pretty well. So again, a pretty good set, and I can really recommend you this this set from 2006 because it's original, it's well made, and that's all you want from a Lego set, or at least you may want from a Lego set. So feel free to post some comments or questions if you have some on this set or on this review. I will happily answer them, and I think that's all. So hope you enjoyed this review, guys, and see you later for another Exo-Force or anything video review. Bye bye.